Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon to miss any of my future videos. In front of us, we have the Sony ICF-24. I bought this radio brand new in 1998 for 20 bucks, and it's been with me ever since. This radio has been plugged into an outlet and running probably 24/7 for a total of 10 or 15 years of those 20 years I've had this radio. Just an amazing, amazing radio. Let's go talk about the dimensions real quick. We have 8.5 inches across, 4.5 inches high, and a case depth of 2.5 inches. Okay, for size comparison, I brought a few radios out. I'm going to have to kind of bring this up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. So this is like the little baby brother to the one that came after, and this is the ICF, I believe, 36. There we go. Giving you an idea of the size. Now, the 24 is a little bit smaller, but I believe has the same speaker size. It does not have the weather band like the 36 has, but they both run on AC and DC power. It gives you kind of an idea. They are definitely close in dimensions, but this one's just a little wider there. And I believe in thickness, let's just bring these up, they're about the same in thickness. Let's just kind of go side by side there to give you an idea. Okay, kind of got a similar antenna scheme going. All right, so what else we got here? We got a CC Skywave handy. I'm gonna bring this back down. Yeah, one time I believe this handle used to lock up and it broke on me. I took this radio everywhere. This is Todderbert's old standby radio. You know, your old faithful. This is mine, and it's just been with me so long. And yeah, I haven't reviewed this yet. And I was like, man, I gotta review this. One of those radios you can still pick up cheap on eBay too. Here's the CC Skywave. Fits kind of like right where the speaker's at. There you go. I'll give you an idea. We're gonna be using the Skywave as my frequency checker. But yeah, radios come a long ways in size. But there you go. And of course, we have Iron Man. He's the man with the master plan. He can do it like no one can. He likes radios from Japan, but this one's made in China. I got a little crazy there. Crazy's good. Crazy keeps you sane, right? Yeah, we're having fun. Okay, so there's Iron Man. Getting all serious. Yes, I'm a Sony fanboy. You guys know that. That's why I own this radio. And I've owned it all this time and still use it to this day, which is pretty awesome to say this radio. Okay, let's go over some features of the radio. Let's go left-hand side. Anything going on over here? Nothing. Okay. Front of the radio, we have an embellishment Sony. It's kind of raised with some kind of like chrome plastic going on. We have this really cool louvered. Am I saying that right? English isn't my first language, nor is it my second. No, I'm just joking. Pretty cool. I mean, I like this style. And underneath there is a 3-inch speaker. You can kind of see it. I did take this radio apart and measured it from the inside also, because I was kind of curious of what this radio looked like inside. And plus it was rattling. A piece of this handle had fallen inside. This radio, you know, it's like one of those old beaters that keeps going. I love it. Okay, so we got the speaker size. Going over to the dial. Okay, let's bring this back up here. You see we got a tuning indicator. This turns red. Mine's gotten dim over the years because, like I said, I had it plugged in all that time. So my LED is a little dim, but it used to be brighter. But it does tell me what's in tune. Turns red. Two-way power, AC/DC operation. So this little radio was cool. When I saw it for sale at the store, I forgot what store I bought it in. I don't remember if it was a Sears or what store, department store. But it was in the box. It was 20 bucks. I'm like, that's not bad. And it said it had dual power. You know, it could run on batteries or AC. And I'm like, oh, that'd be nice. I could leave it plugged in all the time. And that's what I thought about doing with this radio. And here you can see the dial, and it's really cool. I noticed this bezel on the inside there is protected by this plastic, of course, is metal actually. When I took the radio apart again, this was metal, so that was neat. And I printed there, you can see that scale, FM is 88 to 108 with a log scale there, and real bright white indicator, easy to tune. The indicator is pretty solid as far as where you're at on the scale, on the FM, but the AM it is a bit off. Here we go. We got another log scale below the AM band. And AM's 530 to 1700 there. Here we band select switch. Very simple. I like that. FM, AM, 2-band radio, ICF-24. Real tiny printing. Not bad. I don't like it when the model numbers are bigger than the name of the company. Here we have that cool green power switch. I dig it. I wish Sony still did this. It's pretty awesome. That says me. On the right hand side here, we have the tuning wheel, which is really smooth and easy to tune. Volume control is very simple. You can see this thing has some marks on it from running around, falling off the shelf. Headphone experience, very good actually. You know what? I never used headphones until today. I plugged it in, and the headphone experience was very good. Excuse me, low level hiss. AM sounded really good, and FM sounded great. No stereo, but both ears mono. So if you buy this radio and want to use it with headphones, it's going to sound good. You're going to love it. Let's keep going here. The handle, like I said, it used to lock, I believe. It used to lock up in the up position, and it would just hit a little notch, and it would notch back down. I kind of missed that. It doesn't hold up on its own anymore, but oh well. Here's our antenna. Now, the nice thing about this antenna, making up my own words now. The nice thing about this antenna is it swivels 360. Now, that's a cool feature. I wish all radios kept doing this, and you have a little notch out for it too. So you get that reception when you want to move it around and find that elusive distance station. This radio will find it on FM. It's amazing. That's 24 inches in length, by the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what the back says here. I think this is made in China. It runs on 4 AA batteries. There's your DC. Okay, AC input, of course, is a standard 120 volt. And here's a vented case. There's screws here. Take it apart. Behind this door, I am not opening this up. It is so hard to close this. And you guys probably own this radio and know what I'm talking about. Getting that cord to fit in there with the batteries is just a bear. So it's not opening up. But the AA batteries, I forget which order they're in, but they're up here. There's 2 and then 2. And then right in here is the well for the AC cord, which is in there. And of course, you can see the spot where the AC cord comes out once you unravel it. But yeah, it's in there. We're leaving it together. Bottom, we got attention, caution, all that fun stuff. And it stands really nicely, of course. It's built to stand firm. Definitely works well. So let's go ahead and talk about FM reception. Then we'll go cruise the AM band during the day here so we can find. So FM reception, the reason why I do an FM reception report and talk about the FM reception versus me tuning the FM band is because if I stop too long on music, YouTube will put a little mark against this video, and in some countries may not be able to view this video. And I kind of want to make sure everybody gets a chance because this radio's got to be everywhere. I got to imagine this is available in almost every part of the world. The FM reception, this is great. So I base it on a 5-star system. Fair, okay, good, very good, excellent, and of course in between. And typically a radio runs about okay to good, a good analog radio. And a good DSP runs about good to very good, which is around 60 or so stations. Now this one got 60 stations, which is phenomenal. Most of my analog radios, this is an analog radio, get about 48 stations like I mentioned. This one got 60, so it gets a rating of good. I was very surprised. I didn't realize this radio was that good. I sat back on the couch and I was tuning away. I'm like, wow, it keeps finding stuff. And it keeps finding faint stations too. So underneath some strong stations, I was finding faint stations. It was amazing. So yeah, great reception on the FM band for an analog radio. You're going to love it. Again, you can pick these radios up really cheap. I think like sometimes under 20 bucks. Definitely worth looking into. Also, FM selectivity was good. There was like one station that really like dominated the dial, and that was my local station. And I had a problem with picking up the stations next to it, but not too bad. Just that one station. So it gets a solid good rating. So overall, 3-star rating. Not bad for FM. Pretty impressed. So let's go ahead. We'll turn this on. We'll listen to Radio Todderbert, and I'll explain to you what that is in a moment. And then after that, we'll do an AM band scan during the day here, see what it picks up. I was picking up my favorite stations, which is good. And at night, last night, I was doing finding some distant stations, which I'll talk about when we start the AM scan. Go ahead and turn this on. Here's our on switch. You can see our tuning light came on. I don't know if you can see that. I'll bring it up to this thing. Here you go. See, mine's pretty dim because, like I said, I've been using this a long time. And let's go ahead and turn this up. Now I run an FM transmitter 2 from Seacrane, hooked up to an iPod with a selection of YouTube sanctioned royalty-free music, so we can play music without any copyright worry.
this, you crazy mother.
Okay, there you go. You get a basic idea what it sounds like. If you compare it to my other videos, you'll get an idea what this radio does sound like compared to the smaller or bigger radios as far as bass and tone. Now I want to mention to you, let's turn off my stuff here. This radio sounds very good. In person, this 3-inch speaker sounds very full, room filling. Definitely, you can keep turning this up. A lot of volume there with minimal distortion. The only little distortion I got was the transmitter transmitting a little bit past line level there. It went a little bit into the red zone. It has a little red light on there, and I could tell in that last song. But otherwise, yeah, it's awesome. So loving the audio on this radio. Very strong, really neat, and it's still compact. Love that part of it. So let's go ahead and go to the AM band. We're going to do an AM band scan. Now, the neat thing is when I took this radio apart, I found out there was a 2.5-inch ferrite antenna. Nothing spectacular. You know, if you guys have a 506, ICF-506 or Sony ICF-19, you know that you have like a 4.5 to 4.75-inch ferrite antenna inside there. You probably get better reception, and plus it's a DSP radio. But I'll be honest with you, this one being analog and just nicely made. Like when I took this apart, I noticed the quality and workmanship was very high back then. I was very impressed. The PCB was clean. Solder joints looked fantastic. This was a sign of a quality made radio back then. Pretty happy with it. So if you're buying this used in the market today, you'll be buying a radio that's going to last you another 20 years easily. I don't see any faults there in the inside. I didn't see anything that would go bad, you know, that stood out like, you know, that was a bad design. It was all well made. Comes out in a module. I wasn't able to see the IC because it's covered by this dial, and I didn't want to start messing with trying to take the dial plate off. So, but otherwise, yeah, pretty neat setup. Love the winding was really nice on the ferrite. And it was attached real well. It wasn't like all glued in and you know, haphazardly wired. It looked really nice. So let's go ahead and turn this up.
Steps. If the measures it's pledged aren't...
Go to the bottom of the band here. Real smooth analog tuning. I gotta love that. It's awesome. So right now, time-wise, we're in the afternoon here. It's 4 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time near Chicago, Illinois. I'll be using a Skywave if we have to help ID stations if I'm stuck and I don't know where I'm at. The scale on the AM is a little bit off. It tends to be a little towards the high side here, so we're actually picking up stations on the back side of the pointer. So I use the back edge of the indicator to tell me where I'm at. So AM, let's tune this up so we can find 540. I haven't used a loop, and we're going to try that today.
And you know, there's a lot of people camping at that racetrack with their kids and family. It's pretty cool to see that. And
this is 540 WAUK Jackson, Wisconsin, and I'm going to put a loop here. This is Texan AN200. Never tried it. We're going to put it adjacent over here by the speaker, and then we're going to move it towards to where the ferrite is. Turn this back up.
Its roots, its character, and and I really enjoy it. It's a pure driving track.
You know, I think at golf, we look at courses when the majors are played and think, well, if you can hit the ball long, boy, it's a great course for...
Tuning light came on, beautiful.
Well, you got to be tight with your irons. It could be a good course for this player. Do drivers have that mentality where a road course like that, it might favor a specific driver versus an oval?
It's a great way to put it, actually, because obviously with the beauty of IndyCar racing,
Light-duty diesel. You can't afford to have just anyone care for your major investment and important equipment.
This is 560 WIND Chicago.
Depend on the experts at Remke's Garage to fix your Sprinter, Duramax, Cummins, or Power Stroke vehicle. Only go to the experts at Remke's Garage. Remke's doesn't...
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Visit St. Pete Clearwater.
This is WILL, Urbana, Illinois. I'm picking it up without the loop, which is nice. This is 150 miles away.
Near 60, 90 miles west of Orlando.
I'll bring the loop back in.
StClearwater.com.
Then the right side.
The University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign has selected a new vice chancellor for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Sean Garrick will step into the newly created position on August 1st, pending approval by the Board of Trustees.
There you go, get an idea. It's working pretty good. I didn't try it at night yet, but I'll give you a little indication. At night, this thing was rocking. I was getting all the big stations, of course. I was getting WCBS nice and clear. I was getting WLW nice and clear on New Orleans. I was getting Toronto, Ontario, no problem, with Zoomer Radio sounding fantastic on here. CGBC, of course, from Toronto. Trying to think of other stations I was picking up. Your KXEL, Waterloo, up in the top of the band here. It still picked that up, which is nice. So the top of the band works well. So yeah, overall, great AM radio at night, too. So I'm pretty impressed. So let's keep going. Okay, so we're picking up faint stations. I'm not going to bring the loop back up, but this is WKZO, Kalamazoo, Michigan, and probably 600 WMT, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
We're setting direction to the EPA and making 15% ethanol blends available year-round.
There's WMT, Cedar Rapids, 600. And you can check right here. I'll show you with the Skywave. It's nice having a little handy digital radio with you. Sounds better on the Sony.
Visiting Milwaukee in the next few months.
We're going to have at least 11 cruise ships coming into the Port of Milwaukee between today and October.
Schlick says passengers will have time to explore.
620 WTMJ, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
A surprise big win for a Brewers fan.
WTMJ News Time 4:06. News is sponsored by AccuNet Mortgage. Find out how much you could save. Click on the blue button at AccuNet.com.
So we're on the dial there. It looks like it's a little ahead. I mentioned the FM was pretty much a dead-on indicator, but down here, yeah, you always look towards the back of the... white indicator there. This is 640 WMFN, Peatone, Illinois.
Broad shoulders. As if there are other cities that prefer their athletes to out with little injuries. I'm like, I actually prefer our athletes to, not play through pain.
The tone's really nice on AM. It's a little low on the low side, but it sounds good. So it's not harsh on the ears. This is The Score, WSCR, Chicago, Illinois, home of the Cubs. Listen to the ball games on this radio, sounds fantastic. Good garage radio, good shop radio here.
A town built on the stockyards many, many years ago. People who worked for a living.
Move America's energy. We are Energy Transfer. Sometimes it's hard to keep your cool. Like when you're
720 WGN Chicago. On the weekends, in the evening, like 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Saturday, they have classic radio shows. And also on Sunday from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. So if you guys could pick up WGN in Chicago at night, tune in those at that time. You'll love it. It's really good classic radio. The hosts are really cool. You'll recognize them. They're the ones that run Hollywood 360, I believe.
Singer, celebrity impressionist, and comedian. Saturday, August 24th, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Oración. Vamos a presentar esas intenciones y necesidades. Así juntamente presentamos cada una de las necesidades de cada una de sus familias, de cada uno de ustedes.
This is 750. This is WNDZ Portage, Indiana, and you can see where my marker is. Yeah, you're looking at the back side of the indicator, and it seems to be right where we need to be.
Donde quiera que llegue esta gran bendición de las 750 AM, presentamos a ustedes.
30 minutes in from Mannheim. Outbound Stevenson, you have a crash before Pulaski. It's on the left shoulder, but slow nonetheless. 52
This is WBBM Chicago, Illinois. So this is a great station too for classic radio if you guys like old time radio shows. Monday through Friday from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Central Daylight Saving Time again. They do radio shows. Sometimes they'll run 2 shows per hour, which is really cool. They'll run like a long show and like a half show, or they'll take one show and then do half one night and then finish up the other half the next night. Pretty cool. I think it's from radiospirits.com. You can check it out.
On Deerfield Road, Central to Irving Park, Cermak most of the way to
I think
the
they even
Oasis.
have a schedule showing you what's going to air and when.
80 to the Lincoln Oasis.
And you guys can look up your affiliate stations too to find out if they're near you.
55 to the West 88 ramp, Tight 290 ramp, St. Charles to Grand, Bensonville Bridge to Lawrence, Dundee to Deerfield.
That happens when you're dealing with the old
820 WCPT, Willow Springs, Illinois.
people do things.
We'll go kind of quickly here. Okay, music here is WAIT. This is 850 AM, Crystal Lake, Illinois.
For him to win election, if that were to reflect reality. Voters under 35.
WLS, Chicago, Illinois, 890 AM. High-pitch whine, of course, coming from my camera. All my radios exhibit that high-pitch whine.
Obviously, he's not doing great with
When I'm
younger
near this
voters,
phone
unfortunately.
camera.
There's some other...
Somehow communicate with them. Giving you the facts, the data, the stats, the insights that you have. What do you see happening?
920 WOKY, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I'm sure a loop can brighten this up. Bring them real quick. Oh, wait a minute, this is WBKM, Sandwich, Illinois. I heard him say God. So, Christian radio.
Fine. When you go to a parish, I think it's very common to see young adults being underrepresented there. And I think through the kind of the bottom line,
So I think they're in this position.
rapid cultural sponsored from a Christian culture.
Your quarterback, or Jay Cutler is your quarterback, and you're coming off 3-13 or 4-12. Look, it's a Bears town. We love our history, but we've been there, done that. It was the perfect timing to have Bears 100.
I don't think they could have done it.
WMVP, Chicago, Illinois, 1000.
And without the expectations for this year's team. I mean, they were introducing practice.
6 września na wyjeździe ze Słowenią.
This is 1030, I think, WNDR. Vernon Hills, Illinois.
Szewińskiej w Bydgoszczy. Polak uzyskał 5 metrów 81 centymetrów. Drugi był Brazylijczyk Augusto Dutra de Oliveira.
Of sports fan sitting around like, you know, hey, what's that Armin like? Oh, you know, he's a pretty good guy. You could take him. That's like come on. Zave's game? I'm saying no to Zave's game. I'm saying that as he thinks it would be.
I guess it's WTSO. I was going to check real quick because that's one of my favorite stations. They run NASCAR on the weekends. Let me just put this in, see if that's what we're listening to.
I didn't think you were going to actually fight. I kind of agree with you now. I thought it was like simulated.
Excellent.
In a ring, you know, like fake wrestling.
Yep, WTSO, Madison, Wisconsin.
Your choice of discipline.
1110 is WMBI, Chicago, Illinois.
The left has always told us forever to follow the
WISN, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
science, but they don't want to follow any science here.
Chained to a wall is almost laughably ironic. Can you imagine?
This is WYLL, Chicago. This is a Christian radio station.
Like, what gives him the audacity?
WSQR.
And I think the simple answer is
Scroll.
Christ. Like, to give him the...
Okay. There you go. We got some music on. The Squirrel, WSQR, Sycamore, Illinois. One of my favorite stations to listen to during the day. I love it. And this radio gets it no problem. WRTO, Chicago, Illinois. 1200 AM.
Showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the morning, so I think any activities...
I think it's WCLO, Janesville, Wisconsin.
Evening are looking pretty
12:30.
good. Monday, partly sunny and mild with highs near 80s.
1240 WSBC, Chicago. I'm going to go right up to the top here and just do some final thoughts. We'll see where this tops out at.
So today first.
Lots of stations.
Headline news with junk science, and it's all for political gain in the world.
Nice radio. If you're wondering what is going on here, you know what? I remember that story. I remember when it happened. It was terrible because this guy Pergoli, he walked away.
This is the last station up on top of the dial. This is 1690 WBON Chicago.
Yeah, he literally walked up the ramp as Roosevelt and the Dan
I'm going to bring a loop in.
tried to get away. The state police found him and arrested him. It wasn't the first time that he had actually fled the scene of a crash.
Wow.
A few years before that, he fled. He was able to get away from a crash where he, at about 4 or 5 in the morning, coming back from a casino, and this is a man who was an alcoholic, ran through a stop sign and smashed into a squat.
Okay, as you can see, adjacent, you get some decent gain, but when the radio's a little bit bigger, putting the loop edge on to where the ferrite is, you get a ton of gain.
Testing of him, whether he was under any alcohol. One of the officers testified that he had collapsed eyes. Instead of the police arresting him or doing any field sobriety tests for him, he actually was able to leave the scene because the police drove him home.
There you go.
If it was an average Joe, glassy-eyed, 5 in the morning, runs into...
Okay, we'll go ahead and turn this off because I think that was it.
That way you're going to be getting...
Yep, just some static at the end there. Okay, great. We'll go ahead and turn it off, and we'll do final thoughts on the Sony ICF-24. Now, you guys know I'm a Sony fanboy. I'm going to say run out and buy one. Use the links below. I'll have links to this radio. You know what? Have fun. You know, this is one of those radios where it's been around for a while, and there's a ton of them out there. There's just absolutely a ton. And it seems like people, I don't really want that one. I'd rather have, you know, this one here, the, you know, the with the weather band, or, you know, I want the 38. You know, that's a cool one too. But you know, it's this one's kind of cool because it's got the built-in handle. But I'll be honest with you, I like the compact nature of this 24, and it does get decent reception. You know, it's going to get all the stations you want and that you're going to need, and you're going to have a fun time with it. And you're going to spend probably under $20 to look for a good deal. You could probably find these at flea markets, and I'm thinking Goodwill and some of those thrift shops out there. You're going to find this for like $5 or $6 probably at the most, maybe even $4. So if you see it, just grab it and enjoy it. You know, start tuning through the bands, have some fun with the FM. Do some search on, you know, at night with the AM band. You're going to find a lot. This thing is super sensitive. A nice little DXer to have on the cheap. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the presentation of the Sony ICF-24. I enjoy owning this radio. I've enjoyed owning this for the last, 20-some years. Very exciting. Give me a big like. You guys are great. 2, if you're a Sony fanboy like myself, or Sony fangirl, and you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe with the bell icon and get notified of future Sony radios. Yes, I'm on the lookout for more Sony radios, and when I get them in, I will review them, and we'll even do some band scans together. Maybe I'll fire this radio up at night, and we'll run through the band to see, you can see also and hear what I pick up in my location. So there we are. Okay, great. And of course, comment below what you think about the Sony ICF-24. Do you have this one? Do you like it? Do you think it's a classic? I really like it. I think it's awesome. I'm enjoying every bit of it. All right, guys. Well, take care, and we'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.